Astrologers must rid themselves of material desires. Only by ridding oneself of clutter can one see the true world around them. Divination is about precisely foretelling one's written destiny. Over-embellishing that fate only leads to misconception. Astrologers must rid themselves of material desires. Only by ridding oneself of clutter can one see the true world around them.
I want to make sure it's good. Alright. We're back. Crafting one. How much do I have? 116. Alright. Back to the grind, you know how it is. Let's what do I want to hit first? Oh, I should. Oh, I gotta collect some flowers. Here. Area around here. There's a bunch of them. I remember.
My legs are getting sore. What is wrong with this assessment officer? This is a huge occasion, and I've dealt with all kinds of people in my time, but never have I been...
Oh, I mean...
That's called being complacent. If you're happy to just...
Oh, come on.
That's
That's
random.
just...
All right, you two. Qianwei, that was a bit uncalled for. And Mingbo, cut him some slack. We've all been standing around. Look, how about this? There's no rule saying we're obliged to stand.
Fine. Ugh.
It looks like all 3 candidates have arrived. We'll meet them formally soon. I've split it into 2 stages. Current affairs and planning. In the first stage, candidates are required to submit a manifesto for Liyue's development. In the second stage, we will ask them some questions in person. Writing a manifesto takes time, so I informed them of this requirement in advance. These are the reports they submitted.
Wow, one of them is really thick.
It's also worth mentioning a stipulation I gave them. Whoever is appointed as the new Tianshu will be expected to implement their plan as but failing the occurrence of some cataclysmic event, they will not be permitted to change their plan. Therefore, these 3 piles... There's still some time. Have a skim through. I'll be waiting off to the side. Just let...
Hmm.
Finished, huh?
Everyone took it
Of course they... And keep in mind, whoever gets in has to execute their... That's for me to know, and we'll see the candidates now. Let's do one...
Yes, ma'am.
Oh? So you two are the assessment officers, are you? I had assumed that given the great import of this situation, Lady Ningguang would perhaps be assessing us in person. I trust you've read through my manifesto? I'd be more than happy to clarify any details.
Mind your tone.
Relax. It wasn't intended as a personal slight against anyone in particular. I was simply stating a fact. Cloud Retainer? You know this Adeptus? Oh, yes. With your sterling reputation, you must have a respectable level of erudition. Perhaps you will be able to understand the concepts I have put
Oh, is it my turn?
Yes. Please.
I'm, Mingbo. I've worked there for, 9 years, 5 months. I have 12 active cases at the moment. My current work is related to urban planning, and I'm also responsible for, auditing the accounts. To be more precise, there are 3 parts.
Is it just
You know what? Let's leave the self-introduction there and...
Oh,
Hello. Not gonna lie, I'm feeling a little nervous. What would you like to know? You're here to assess me, so ask away.
Your manifesto is very wide in its scope, but you don't seem to be personally involved in many of the specific fields. How could...
Very fair question. I completely understand where you're coming from. But I'm confident in my plan. I've visited many different places, talked to lots of people with far more expertise than myself, and of course, 2 different problems can be interconnected in very complicated ways, and you might reach 2 very contradictory conclusions depending on which one you're focusing on. What I've tried to do is...
How do you plan to determine whether you are right or wrong about your proposed solution?
A great question. Well, I'd start by having my colleagues and the secretaries of the Yuehai Pavilion evaluate any proposals before implementation. Post-implementation, it would all come down to the results. If it turned out that my judgment was to blame for poor results, I would take responsibility.
Nice answer. All right, next question.
He seems like a great guy. Everything he said was...
Here's my take on what we just learned. As you saw, Qianwei is highly knowledgeable. He proposes many excellent ideas in his manifesto, which effectively but he is very proud and incredibly stubborn. Mingbo's plan is more thorough and more measured. You can tell he's but he and Shenwei are otherwise polar opposites. Mingbo is not very articulate and comes
Perfect summary. Paimon.
last but not least, Zhi. His manifesto is full of pertinent details, his methodology is sound, and his proposals cover up the depth he goes into in each and every area means it can only be a product of painstaking work. But what really interests me is that many of his views happen to coincide with Uncle Tien's. Having someone like Zhi take the position,
Great.
we'll see.
There we go. I know it's not the next quest, but it's the one we're gonna do. Can see.
Alright, this place works. Show me the capsule you purchased.
Here.
Sword Fighting Techniques 8. Huh. A combat class knowledge capsule. This class is something of a rare find these days, since most have been taken by the Eremites to augment their battle capabilities.
Really? Ah, yeah, what a great buy!
If you want to determine the efficacy of this capsule, I can evaluate your combat ability. However, effects will likely be... We can conduct a controlled experiment where you fight 2 battles. While you fight, we can use an Akasha terminal to monitor your There may be variances in your physical strength between the 2 tests, as well as a disparity in your opponent's abilities. But don't worry.
Wow! Oh, hey, Thumb! You must have been one of those guys that, Paimon's curious about something, though. You definitely weren't one of those students who needed canned knowledge to graduate from the academia, right? So, why are you risking getting caught by the mantra for this capsule?
When you are unable to understand a researcher's actions, most cases can be attributed to curiosity. This is but one theory.
Sounds like you're trying to avoid the question.
All right, let's begin the test. Just fight as you normally.
Time for retribution!
All right. I'll link your Akasha terminal. The next step is to use this. Hold it in your hand. I'll help you establish a connection.
get.
Alright. Time for round 2. Fight with the same composure.
This is order.
Now, I'll start.
Oh, hey, Thumb. How's it going?
Well, the knowledge capsule you purchased did improve his combat capability. During the second
Wait! How much? Dory's such a jerk! She totally scammed us!
Of course, this could be because he is so powerful that the capsule's contents were unable. At the very least, this test allowed me to gain more insight into you two. I'm heading back to Ikela Funduk. I await your response in 2 days' time. This is Mora for when you ask Dory for information.
Ugh.
You should really bring the Knights of Favonius with you next time.
Wonders of the world.
Let's see Dory today and ask her about where the divine knowledge capsule is.
I actually think one of these is higher up. Yes. Perfect. Yeah, it's great.
Here, over here! Welcome back, my loyal patrons. What can you name it? Canned knowledge, supplies, or anything else you need. I'll find a way to get it. Can you really get us any? So it appears that canned knowledge alone is no longer sufficient for your opulent appetite. Then please oblige me. Tell me what you. Oh! I knew customers with pockets as deep as yours would undoubtedly crave something more profound than ordinary canned knowledge. But you know, that kind of information isn't going to be cheap. After all, I had to work really hard to weasel my way into the auction site. Not to mention that if anyone found out that I was the leak. But how can we be sure your information is accurate? Paimon's. Because to me, anything of value is what I consider to be my supply. As for the information's authenticity, well, you've no need to worry about that. I used a camera to take a picture of the transaction. That way, no one can It's always a pleasure doing business with such sterling patrons. Now that you've paid in full, here's the scoop. The divine knowledge capsule was purchased yesterday by a certain misery. Ein El Ahmar? You mean the Eremites who worshipped King... Ah, so you're already... The group has done everything in their power to obtain the divine knowledge capsule. That divine knowledge capsule is unlike any other The capsule is clearly visible in the picture I took. Thanks for the please, it's my pleasure. It's all thanks to discerning customers such as yourselves. Well, we figured out where the divine knowledge capsule is. Turns out, it ended up in the hands of Ein El Ahmar. Let's head back and talk to Al Haytham.
Really? All right. Let's hear it.
Dory even gave us evidence to verify the
Look at that. Clear as day. It must have taken some guts just to infiltrate the scene of the Eremites. All right. The person in this picture is indeed Misery, the leader of... In which case, if we play our cards right, when we confront them next week,
At first, Paimon didn't get why you were provoking these Ein El Ahmar. After we defeat them, we can finally have a serious talk with their boss and get them to lend us the divine...
Thank you for your time and efforts. Take a few days off while I make some preparations. Let's meet up again on the afternoon of the arranged date, 3 o'clock. See you then.
Al Haytham sure is taking his time. Where could he be? Oh, there he is.
Sorry to keep you waiting. Let's head to the pier in front of Pharos Lighthouse.
Yep, let's go.
I knew you were crazy, but I didn't...
It was I who demanded that these negotiations take place. I was more worried that you might go back on... This is turning into quite an occasion.
Back up! Aren't you the brat from the restaurant the other day? You've come to support this lunatic because I'm not going to mince my words. Once we're done with you, you'll be nothing more than fish food. Get 'em, boys!
Uh-oh, here they come!
Delve into destiny. Decided by destiny.
Verdict is, I'll be back.
Barbados, guide us.
I will have order.
Academia scum! Boss! Finally! Did you use it? Great! Now we can... Boss? Boss! Boss! What's wrong?
What
Do not impede our work. Is that understood, Alhaitham?
Of course. I was only trying to help.
Take him away!
World, forget me.
What in Tibet just happened? It's like that big guy suddenly lost.
It looks like he used the divine knowledge capsule.
You mean the divine knowledge capsule did that to him? Oh, yeah. You mean how some researchers go insane after getting knowledge from Irminsul?
I've heard of numerous incidents of researchers in Satyavada life going insane. The state that man is now in suggests that this is a similar situation. This divine knowledge capsule does appear to be linked to the gods, but beyond that, it doesn't seem anything like the rumors suggest. Possessing it, did you hear what he said? World, forget me. What could that possibly mean?
If the mantra took him away, then that means the academia got the divine knowledge capsule back. Still, Paimon didn't expect the divine knowledge capsule would be so dangerous.
As things stand, there is no reason for me to remain in Port Ormos.
Oh, we were so busy trying to find the divine knowledge capsule that Paimon forgot to ask you something.
Truthfully, I don't. Lesser Lord Kusanali appears to exist outside of Sumeru's. Moreover, since the Academia possesses the Akasha, a symbol of our deity's wisdom, scholars have no reason to desire.
Everything about Lesser Lord Kusanali is such a...
I'm heading back to the Academia.
It's almost the day of the Sub-Zero's festival. Maybe we should head back too. We've been rushed off our feet over the past few days, so maybe a little rest and relaxation will do us good. Then we'll part ways here, Alhaitham, until we meet again.
Now, do I deal with this thing first? Or should I produce the report that the higher-ups require?
Oh, I think I remember Sean saying that. You get like one in that one automatically. Oh.
Order guide
Oh no. Um. Hash brown. Do I get to name it? Oh, cool. mix. Hmm.